Listen up, your weekends are causing you absolute hell, and they're one of the reasons why you are not seeing more fat loss, more weight coming off the scale. And today I'm gonna go over why that is and how we can fix it. So let's get into it. It's just a little bit harder. How did you make it like I'm being put? What is up, guys? Simanga Michael Njapa here. I'm a personal trainer and an online coach. Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna start by saying and being honest and transparent. You can see the Louis V under my eyes. It's been a long week. I've recently had a life-changing thing happen to me that it's tough to adjust to, but I am adjusting. I'm doing my best. And God help me. I'm going to continue to do my best, but I didn't want to use that as an excuse. I'm currently here at the gym. I'm going to train after this video, after I'm done making the video. I didn't want to make that an excuse and not do other things that I'm supposed to do just because of this sudden change. Not sudden change, but because of this change that's happened in my life. It's a big deal, but still I'm thankful that it happened, because it's a blessing at the end of the day. But you did not come here to hear about my woes or my Louis V bags under my eyes. You came here to know or find out what you can do about the weekends and why the weekends are causing you so much distress, and why you're not losing any more fat, and why you're hitting this plateau that you are. So it's very simple, guys. When it comes to gaining weight or losing weight, it's all about energy. Energy into the system. We are the system. Energy in, energy out. That's the main thing. They've even done research papers where people eat junk and they still lose fat. Now, I'm not saying you should do that, but at the end of the day, it's an energy in, energy out, calories in, calories out kind of thing. So if you want to lose weight, you've heard it so many times, you need to be in a calorie deficit. And there's two ways you could achieve the deficit: by eating less than you're burning, or burning more than you're eating. So either way, with the calorie deficit and losing weight, you're still in a deficit. You're still in a negative energy net balance. When people suffer or they bang their head up against this wall, it's because sometimes, and this is not everyone, but they'll do the right thing from Monday to Friday. They'll be on it. They'll hit their macros. Even if they're not counting their macros, they'll eat decent food, But then when the weekend comes along and rolls along, sometimes starting from Friday even, things just go awry. And quick reasons for that, and obvious reasons, again, because of its energy in, energy out. Maybe one of the reasons could be, and you can see if this applies to you, one of the reasons could be because during the week you're super active. And by super active, I mean you're going to the gym, you're walking, you're getting your steps in, you're exercising, whatever the case might be. And then come the weekend, you're not doing any of that. You're completely sedentary. You're behind the couch, not doing absolutely nothing. Okay. Again, this is not me saying you must be super active during your weekends, because again, you still want to relax in some way over your weekends. But that's just one of the things you have to pay attention to. So your energy balance could be affected because you're not expending as much energy. That's number one, over the weekends. Number two, and one of the most obvious ones, is because you are eating more during the weekend, and then you're ruining let's say you're in a calorie deficit from Monday to Friday, and you're doing the right things, but then come Friday, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe Saturday, Sunday, you just do too much. And maybe you don't even know that you're doing too much, but clearly you are doing too much when that calorie deficit you've been trying to achieve, whether it's 500, I wouldn't recommend someone do 1,000. Depends on the person also, but maybe let's say 500 calorie deficit from Monday to Friday. And then come Saturday, Sunday, sorry. See, my brain is all over the place. Come Saturday, Sunday, you're intaking so much energy is coming into the system, which is you, that is canceling out all that work that you've done during the week. So it's super important, guys, because the weekend, maybe you might have friends that drink, and then you end up drinking because they drink, or you drink in general, and then you might overdrink, and we all know how not great, I don't say bad because I don't like that word, but how not great alcohol is for losing weight, and just general health in general. And of course, if you overdo it, it's even worse, you know? The amount of food that you might be eating, you might be going out to restaurants, which is very common. You go out with friends, you go out double dates, whatever the case might be, and then you tend to, I don't know how I'll say it, but you tend to lose it, you lose yourself, you get lost in the sauce. And this is not me saying you shouldn't be able to enjoy yourself, have something nice during the weekends. The problem is, and again, this is me being someone who's given the recommendation to certain people that maybe try keep it clean during the week and then have 1 or 2 cheap meals. That's the key word, cheap meals during the weekend. Don't let your cheap meals during the weekend turn into cheat days. That's where a lot of people go wrong. Alcohol, the liquid calories, and then the cheap meals that turn into cheat days. So if you know you're one of those kind of people, then you need to plan around you. You need to be honest about or to yourself. For instance, let me use myself as an example. If I know that I'm the kind of person where if I have a chocolate with me, a whole slab with me, there's no way I'm gonna be able to eat the first 2 rows and stop and just put it in the fridge. The whole night I'm gonna be looking at that bad boy. Every time I open the fridge, I'm gonna know it's in there. And it's gonna be calling my name the whole time. So if you know that that's you, you buy a smaller chocolate for the weekend if you wanna have chocolate over the weekend. If you know that's you, you buy one what do they call it? One beer thingy. That's how you know I don't drink. But you buy one bottle. You know what I'm saying? So, or you buy a better option for drinking at home, or you work around you as a person. Otherwise, and I love this quote that I heard, it's so simple but it's so true. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you don't change and work with you in such a way that you feel disciplined, but also not over restricted, then nothing's gonna change. That's the main thing I'm trying to drive in this video, guys, is because I know from coaching clients is, besides the whole diet plan thing, because people think I just need a diet plan, I just need to know what to follow. Just give me something and I'll follow it, I'll do it. You're not gonna live your life on that diet plan. You're not gonna do that. What's gonna be there forever is or are your habits. If you're emotional, you run to food, you run to this. That's some of the things that you've learned over time and that are with you. And so that's when you have to learn and know yourself and then work around yourself. That's one of the really important things. Cravings are a real thing. And sometimes one of the reasons why we're craving is because our glucose levels are all over the place. And one of the ways to do or to stabilize them is to make sure that we're intaking enough protein and starting, like when we're looking at our plate and we're eating something, we start with a protein source and then we devour everything else. And even if, long term, I'm thinking long term now, even if you were to have that chocolate on the weekend, if you start with your proper food first, hella protein, vegetables there, hella fiber, everything, and then a little bit of carbohydrates, of course. Also, you'll get the carbohydrates from the vegetables. But again, we're not going to go into that. But you do that first. By the time it's time to eat the chocolate, there's not that you won't and you can't, but there's less of a likelihood that you're going to overeat it because you'll be already satiated from the fiber, the protein from this other meal. So then you'll be working around yourself because you know that I tend to overeat this thing and I need to work around myself. So again, be honest with yourself and know that nothing changes if nothing changes. Another way is if we're super active during the week and we're not as active during the weekend, is you could also just be more active during the weekend. And the only reason why I don't put this tip at the very beginning is because people tend to think, okay, no, then I'll just continue having the chocolate that I want the whole slab, but then I'll just go and run for an hour or whatever and burn it off. That's not a good approach to fitness. That's not, you're gonna burn out if you do that. And you can always eat more calories than you can actually physically burn off, if that makes sense. It's too easy, especially nowadays. Nowadays, the kind of era and time we live in where hyper-palatable food is available to us like that. You can eat 2,000 calories in like 5 minutes. You try burning off 2,000 calories on the treadmill. Whether you're walking or running, either way, that's gonna set you back sometime. So what I mean by this one is just try be more active, try get more walking done, still be conscious of your diet, okay? Don't go off the rails and just use the I'll burn it off excuse, because trust me, you will fail if you do that. You cannot out-train a bad diet. It's almost impossible. Ways, we're gonna shift away again from burning calories, because I just put that one a little bit later because I just don't think it's as good of a tip as the other ones. But another great tip, and such an obvious one, is, again, if we're trying to be in that deficit during Monday to Friday, and then we trip up during the weekend, is don't have, again, if you have that chocolate or whatever, let's use the chocolate, let's keep going with the chocolate. Example, just try not to have as much junk in the house. Like, honestly, at some stage, nothing beats that. And yes, we can get things delivered to us and just do your Apple Pay there, and then it comes to the house and it's, but it's a lot easier to resist temptation when temptation isn't anywhere in sight. You know how people say out of sight, out of mind? There's some credence to that. So yeah, it's a lot easier if you just get a lot of that stuff out. And also another low-key tip is get friends who are trying to get fit. You know how people say like your friends are they're right. If you're the only friend who's trying to get fit and then the rest of your friends are doing whatever they're doing, they're not bad people, but you just need to get out of that environment because it's probably not gonna last very long. Because they're going to be inviting you out, they're going to be making certain choices. You try to do the healthy thing, maybe sometimes they might look at you a funny way, maybe judge you, and you might get peer pressured into drinking or peer pressured into doing something that is not good for you at the end of the day. But yeah, it's most of this kind of stuff and diet stuff I've found from my experience, my own experience and my experience of coaching people, is that a lot of it is the basics are the same. Get a certain amount of protein, your body weight, around your body weight is good. Get a certain amount of fiber, certain amount of this. But in order to do those things, you might have different food groups that you like to do it, to achieve the same goal. But also in order to do those things, you need to work around your schedule, who you are as a person, and all the other things that we talked about in order to still achieve those things. You still get your protein, still get your fiber, even though you're a lawyer and then you have meetings back to back, whatever, or you're a construction guy and you have whatever you have and your breaks might not be as long. I don't know, I don't work in construction, but I'm just saying that the overarching message is the same, is to know yourself, know what you need to shoot for in terms of protein, your calories, your fiber, and then work around yourself and be honest with yourself. If you can do that, you're gonna see continued fat loss. And I guess the last thing I would say is it doesn't happen overnight. It does take a while, especially if you took years to get the body fat on. A slower and more measured approach is better because you'll be able to sustain it. But just don't rush it, but at the same time, be honest with yourself. That's the biggest thing that I see that trips people up. Be honest with yourself. If you need to hire a coach, hire a coach. And yeah, hopefully that helps. I just thought I should really make this video. I really hope that helps, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video and listening to me rant in an empty room on a Friday. I'm gonna go home now because I'm all alone. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to check out one of the other videos. I'll link about the keto diet. If you swear by the keto diet and the keto diet is the best thing ever and it helped me lose fat, it might not be the best thing for everyone else. But I'm gonna link that here.